each other and cry.
Thank you for your question, German, Indian, Russian, South African. It's funny because the last week of filming, I was actually sick the last week of filming. I don't know what happened. It might have been, we stayed with a buddy of ours, this guy named Misha.
I remember reading the end of when I got to, I remember reading the end and literally just burst out into tears. No, of laughter. And I thought, how much fun is season 13 going to be? I mean, talk about cutting the fat.
So, to be honest, really, this is a me, Misha.
We shot, so the last, for those who have seen the finale, you can listen, for those who have not, close your ears. We shot the last 3 days of season 12. It was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, April 26th, or something like that. And we shot like halfway to Whistler. And so it was a long drive. It was a long drive, so Misha decided to rent a house, like a VRBO house, right? And he's like, hey guys, listen,
So just a preface. This was a moment of poor decision making. This is what I'm about to describe to you.
I'm sure it seemed like a great idea at the time. And so he says like, hey, Jens and Jared, I know we're filming all day. It was night shooting, so all the stuff that takes place outside of the house, for those who have seen it, it was all Monday, like we started like 3 p.m. Monday, went to 5 a.m., started like 4 p.m. Tuesday, went to...
It was awful.
It was awful. It was night shooting. And Misha was like, hey, instead of driving back and forth and being exhausted, I rented a house so I didn't have to do the 4-hour drive round trip. If y'all just want to crash there, like it's a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, whatever. And we were like, that'd be cool. And we haven't seen a whole lot of this season because he works like 2 episodes a year.
It was a 4-bedroom.
It was a 4-bedroom.
Is what we were told.
Oh, that's right.
That was a little bit of a bait and switch. I was like, guys, I got this huge place. Might as well come stay. And then Jensen went, you got up early. He played some golf. He went early to throw his bag in, and he's like, how many bedrooms did you say this place had? It was 2 bedrooms?
At most.
At most. That's stretching it.
It was 2 bedrooms. One of the...
I think I'm sleeping on the floor.
On the floor next to
He slept on the floor next to the bed that he slept in. I don't know what happened in the room.
You were wrestling after what we'd been through.
So we filmed till like 3 or 4.
How much of this story are we going to tell?
We're telling you all.
We're editing as we go.
We should tell it.
Not all of it.
I think we're, you know, guys, I think that's it for us.
I think we're done. I think we gotta go. And we were so close.
Danielle is telling us we gotta go.
So I get upstairs.
Okay, we'll delay a little bit for y'all. Fuck it. We end up going like, they're thinking it's going to be like a short day, that by short we mean like 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. Like, oh, it's only an 11-hour day, it's going to be brilliant. And it's going like 5, and so we go back to Misha's place, and we're like, hey, this is like a send-off for season 12, let's open a bottle of wine, have a few beers, whatever. And so we hung out, had a few drinks, and kind of chatted there was like a patio overlooking the JIB8, which is this beautiful mountain.
After we realized that there were very little places to sleep in this place. We were then like, well, I guess we should probably just stay up.
So we stayed up and then went to bed.
I do remember at one point being in the other room.
This is the night or the day of?
Being awoke by what are they doing in there? Have they brought in animals now? And
Like I said, I was sick.
Jared was snoring so loud that from down the hall in a closed door bedroom, it woke me up. I'm like, how was Misha possibly sleeping in the same room?
Oh, he had been put to the test the night before.
Oh my
He can
God.
sleep through anything.
No, he woke up for...
When you nudged him.
They're all like, what's true and what's not? I want to believe. No. So... we wake up and it's all like, we sleep too late, we sleep too late. And so, the phone, so Misha has rented this house, VRBO or something, home away. So he puts
It's all under his name.
It's all under his name. So the home phone rings.
So stupid.
So Jared, me,
Upstairs
Oh my
to
God.
find Jared on the phone after the phone had been ringing.
so this is
The house phone. The
To
phone
fill
that
it-
belongs
to fill
to
it-
the home.
to fill it
That
the
is
house.
not Misha's or us. Or
the house phone rings, and I'm like, hello. And the other guy's like, hey, Virgil. I'm like, this is Virgil. Yeah. Virgil.
the actual owner of the home.
Yeah, I'm sitting with Mark, and Mark wants to cancel his lease a couple months early. It means we'll have to let him off the hook, but we have another lease coming in. I'm like, pull the trigger.
Now I'm like, well, hey.
Hey, no, go ahead and do it. Sign it. This is Virgil. Sign on my behalf. Sign on my behalf. And so the guy's like, cool, man. Well, we'll just in the papers. And Misha's grabbing the phone. Finally, it like flies out of both of my hands. It's
Into
a one.
a glass, breaks a glass. There's the sound of me going, no! Glass breaking, me grabbing the phone and hanging it up. And that's how the call ended. Yeah, great, go ahead, sign on my
Yeah, go ahead,
behalf.
sign on my behalf. That's fantastic. I'm here to witness it. Yeah, thanks, Roy. Okay, bye.
I couldn't believe the police didn't show up after that. And then the phone rings again.
No, it was the computer. It was your computer.
Phone rings again.
Oh, yeah.
I run downstairs. Right? I don't know. I lost the sequence.
You went to...
I did
Was
something.
your computer open?
I left my computer open. I went downstairs. That's when he started tweeting something about
He jumps up, runs over to the computer, starts tweeting. Then you hear Misha coming sprinting back upstairs as though he just realized that the computer was available.
upstairs to unplug the phone so that like no more incoming calls would come into the house. And as I'm coming back upstairs, I'm like, slow motion, because of course Jared is sitting there on my lap.
Retweeting Donald Trump, like, couldn't agree more. You're the best. And then Misha's like, ugh, okay, I have my phone, I have the house phone, I have my computer.
I'm just gonna.
Meanwhile, it was the best morning cup of coffee entertainment I've ever. I'm just sitting there at the table like,
And so then it's time to go to work. And so, keep in mind, this is like a very nice house. It's got like architecture, and it's very beautiful, pretty good. And so the phone is unplugged. Misha has taken back over his Twitter. And so he goes to shower, get ready for work, whatever. And I'm upstairs, and I'm like, I want to turn on CNN, like, whatever. And I'm going, it's like it's some unusual Canadian satellite system I'm used to, so CNN's not the same channels, I'm like flipping through channels, and it gets to like boys in the shower. Or something, boys in their butts or something like that, singing. And I was like, huh. And push forward.
That piqued your interest?
Yeah, Misha's on the bill, man.
And to be specific, he selected subscribe, which was very expensive.
Assuming, in all fairness, that the homeowner wouldn't rent his house out to people without putting a block on pay-per-view, but he didn't. And so he subscribed to Misha, the tenant, subscribed to it was like boys, handsome
It was
butts.
very graphic bathroom sex. And I believe you subscribed like to the month, like the forever.
It was an annual subscription.
In all fairness, they were offering a deal at the time.
I spent, by the way,
month, 200.
they left before me for work, and I spent almost 2 hours trying to unsubscribe. Unsuccessfully. Because I didn't have the password that he had created. Am I staying?
Yes. You getting the pics? You getting good pics?
This is an awkward transition where you're like me on stage alone, and that means half of the people leave.
Let's do some on Facebook too. We'll get rid of it.
To the bathroom. That's great. What? It says what's happening. Hello, everyone. Yeah, that was a pretty traumatic morning for me. That was really, it kind of rattled me. And Cliff came over to pick Jared and Jensen up, and the very graphic bathroom sex was playing on the screen. And at that point, we were just sitting on the couch like this, watching. And Cliff came in and sat down. I was like, "Hey guys, we gotta get going." And he sat there for about 2 minutes before realizing what was on the screen. And it was sort of like a. Hi. How is everyone? How many of you have now not seen the finale of this season? Okay. And how many have seen it? Good. Are we avoiding spoilers on this? Did anyone just say yes? The yeses are getting drowned out by the nose. Yeah, that was an intense end of the season.
Yes.
A lot of carnage.
We love you.
Thank you. Great. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Okay. What?
I wanted to know how Cass' idea of home has changed during the years and seasons.
His idea of home? I think Cass has gone from seeing heaven as his home to being homeless. Because I don't think that Cass ever feels at home anywhere, really. I think that he he now feels somewhat comfortable with the boys, but he's never in his own element, really. He does see them as the closest thing he has to family, I think. And they say home is where the heart is, so maybe, maybe with the boys is as close as it gets for him. But he's still never truly at home, I don't think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So life has gotten much worse for him over the course of, well, now actually.
Oh no. Too soon.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying your stay here and you had fun during your trip in Iceland.
I did. Are you Icelandic?
No.
No. Okay. I can tell you this. I tried the shark, the fermented shark. I guess they take a shark, they bury it in the sand for 6 weeks, and the meat kind of rots a little bit, and the urine from the shark's body soaks into the meat and helps preserve it. It was challenging, really challenging. I thought I'd just pop it in. It was like a relatively small piece. I'd just pop it in my mouth to be polite and get it over with, but it was like a little bit too big to just swallow right away. So then I had to chew it for a long time, but it was like really sinewy. And I started sweating. And I was determined not to spit it out. But now I'm getting the chills just thinking about the fact that it went into my body, so it was probably a bad choice.
So I have a question, but first I wanted to tell you just a little thing.
Okay.
You have recently reached 100 episodes on Supernatural, and it's amazing. So, yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And if someone thinks that Cass is not important for the show, or you're not, I don't really know what show they're watching because you and your characters are fundamental for the show. I wish for you. And
Goodness. I feel so strange, like I want to give you a hug about this poor fictitious character. I'm going to do that. Here's what I'm going to say about Castiel's recent unfortunate events on Supernatural. I think that I think I'll be back on Supernatural in season 13. I think we will see Cass again, but the question is what this death does to him. Is I think the one to wonder about. In Supernatural, a character's death can mark a big sort of transition point for them, and I think that I think what we need to wait and see is like how this transforms him. But I do think we'll see a version of him again. There's also this parallel universe in which possibly everyone is alive in a different iteration. So, you never know.
yeah, so the question is.
That wasn't my question. But thanks for usurping my time at the mic.
I love your family. So, what's the favorite thing you like to do with your kids?
That's a good question. I really like just following their lead on things and letting them sort of, take charge on something. I like going on little adventures with them, like we'll go into the park for a hike to try to find bugs or something like that. And we'll bring all kinds of tools to find bugs, like big nets and long poles and things that are heavy and completely useless. When they say the strange things that children say, ask the questions that they ask, because they are little reminders that that the world is full of wonder to new eyes. My daughter just asked, hey, can I wear pants when I have a baby? And Wes said, no, Mason, because then the baby would just get caught in your pants and get squished. And Mason said, oh. And then and Vicky was like, well, it's, you know, the man and a woman, when they can put very special love together, they do a really, I don't know why she got like 1950s about this, but she said, you know, they do a very special kind of hug. And Wes said, I think I know what kind of hug that is. It's a naked hug. Anyway. Hi.
I just wanted to try these big boy songs, and if you do, what's your favorite song?
I don't know, the Wall. You know? Yeah. What about you?
I like One of These Days and High Hopes. These are my favorite choice.
Good choices. I have to put, it's been a little bit of time since I've been listening to Big Boy. I've got to put it back in circulation. Okay, thanks for the tip. Hi.
Hi. My question is about what's your experience?
Yes.
Specifically about that item that required us to donate to Syrian refugees, and that had quite an impact on myself. So I was wondering, what was the impact on you, and what was your experience?
So, how many of you have done Gishwas? Those of you who haven't, you should try it at least once. You can sign up now. We're doing registration now, and you can either sign up by yourself or you can join a team. We'll put you on a team if you don't have a team. Or you can ask people who just put their hands up and maybe they'll let you join their team. We did this item last year. I think it was maybe on Wednesday or something. It was sort of partway through the hunt, and it said get 10 people, I believe, to donate to this fundraiser to raise money for this Syrian refugee family. We had found this family living in Lebanon. The mother had been shot in the spine and paralyzed, and she'd been stuck in this tent for 2 years, had not been out of the tent in 2 years. And the kids in the family were in really dire circumstances as well. So we put this item in the hunt, and we didn't want to make it so that you had to donate if you were playing Gishwas, but we made it so that you had to find other people to donate. So that was the challenge for this item. And we thought, you know, if we can raise somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000, that will pay for them to get a house, that will pay for them to get the kids in school, and that will pay for the mom to get some medical attention. And that will pay for them for several years. So in the morning we woke up and there was already $60,000, which was like enough to take care of them for 5 years. And so we got on the phone to this amazing photographer named Giles Dooley, who lost 3 limbs to an IED. And so he only has one fully functioning arm, and yet he still travels around the world doing photo documentation of refugees in refugee camps. Just an incredible person. And he had told us about this family because he had done a story about them 2 years before. And he was really, I mean, even Angelina Jolie had interviewed him about this family. Like, it got a ton of exposure, and yet that family was still living in the same shitty situation. Even though it had gotten press all over the world because he had reported on it, this family had had nothing change for them. And he was feeling really depressed about this because he felt like, what's the point of my work? What's the point of telling these stories if telling the story doesn't change the circumstances of the people that I'm talking about? And so he was overjoyed to find out that we had finally gotten money to get them into a totally different circumstances. And then he found another family for us, another family that had a heartbreaking story. The daughter in the family tried to kill herself twice because she wanted there to be enough food for the other kids in the family. And we got enough money for them, and another family, and another family, and it was just amazing. And it felt so, for me, you asked how I felt about it, it felt incredibly profound, and also extremely exciting, because I love the idea of turning doing good into a game, so that we can actually have two different kinds of joy from the experience. One is the fun of playing the game, and the other is the deep gratification you get knowing that you've actually materially changed someone's life. So the idea of bringing those two things together and having it actually work. I mean, a lot of times I feel like I have this sort of personality that says, yeah, let's try this crazy thing. And sometimes it doesn't work at all. And a lot of times I'm sort of asking people to trust me when they shouldn't. But when something like that happens and it actually works out, it feels really lucky and thrilling. So I felt great about it, to answer your question. And we're now getting the photos from these kids moving into their new apartments that JIB8 and Random Acts facilitated, and the girl, the 12-year-old who tried to kill herself, is now saying that she wants to be a doctor when she grows up, which is Thank you. Hi.
I was just going to say, you were amazing in the season finale. I was like at the airport trying to keep it together. I was in public.
Yeah, I lie very still. Quotes you don't want on the internet. Yes.
The question was, I'm going to like Vancouver and the West Coast of America in July, and I was wondering what your favorite things to do, what you would like recommend going to see.
Well, I think you should probably go out to the islands, the San Juans, or the what are the Canadian islands called? Gulf Islands. Thank you. Those are pretty beautiful. It's actually kind of like the most beautiful place in America at that time of year. You can see killer whales. Yeah, we had a JIB8 item a couple of years ago, which was set in the San Juan Islands. You had to take a ferry to another ferry to an island, Lopez Island, where there was this kid, this 19-year-old kid that I had met, who made ice cream sundaes at this restaurant. Alex Guido was his name, and he made these sundaes that are really big, but he was also like really super, super proud of them, and he was basically challenging anybody who came in and ordered his sundae to actually finish the whole thing. And if they did, he would raise their hand up in the air like they were like a champion. And I just thought this was hilarious. And so I put that as an item in the hunt. Get an Alex Guido sundae and get and have him declare you a victor over the sundae. And then I remember distinctly, he did not have a driver's license. And there were so many people coming to the island, and the ferry was like 7 miles away. And so he borrowed somebody's car and started driving people to and from the ferry. And then he got pulled over by a cop and got a very expensive ticket for driving without a license. And then he got fired. So that worked out great. Sort of like the Syrian refugee story. So not always do things go perfectly, but then I heard later that he wanted to quit anyway, and Ishma's people actually raised money for him to pay for his ticket as well. So it worked out in the end. We helped him transition into a better life. He was too good for that place.
Thank you.
This season you had a lot of emotional scenes, and they were actually really spectacular. I really loved your acting. So, is it easy to leave that back on set?
I'm having some trouble with this paparazzi down here. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry.
Did you listen to
I didn't listen to anything.
Just that, that you had a lot of emotional scenes, and they were really powerful, and they make us, the fans, feel this heartbroken when we see it. Is it easy for you to actually leave it back on set and go back to your life and have such emotional scenes?
No photos. I think there are times when you feel a little bit of a residual emotional kind of trauma from particularly hard scenes. We have a lot of experience of like just going back and forth, and we feel comfortable in the environment on set, and we can basically create a switch. I don't know. So it's easy sort of to toggle back and forth between being even in a very emotional state and just fucking around on set. But but I have had experiences, and there have definitely been times and actually I should say it's also different for different actors. Like we've had guest stars who come on who get like into an emotional state and they stay there all day, which looks very hard to me. But there are also particular scenes that stand out that just make you feel a little bit more desiccated and raw at the end. Damn. I felt like that in episode 19, I believe it was, when I was like dying on the couch in that barn. Was that 19?
Episode
12.
Was that 11 or 12?
12.
What was 19?
It was with the power up.
Okay.
With the eagles.
That's right. Well, yeah, that was a little tough, that scene.
For us too.
I'm trying to think of a time when I had a hard time leaving. I did this movie Carla, where we're getting it's an awful, terrible movie. Don't watch it, but that character got into my head in a way that made me a little bit uncomfortable. I thought I might have broken myself. Thanks for asking.
Supernatural has changed a lot in all these years, and my question is, which was the episode that, in your opinion, transport more your character of Castor?
That is is a difficult question. I think that Cass becoming human probably was the biggest transformation for the character, but in the long term, because I think that gave him. I think before that he just couldn't understand how humans were like they were, and then he had this experience that gave him a lot of empathy toward humans. So I think that was probably the biggest one.
I thought it was the trick at the strip club thing.
That was transformative as well. If nothing else, to really showcase that he did not have game. That was a good episode for me as an actor. I'll tell you that much. We had this scene. I told this story before, but we had this scene in the strip club, and Castiel had a beer, and I thought, oh, you know what would be.
Oh no.
I guess we're not supposed to talk about that one. So Cass had a beer, and I thought, you know what would be funny? Like, Cass has never had a beer before. He doesn't really know what to do here. So I just kind of chugged the whole pint in one go. And we did one take, and then we did another take. And then we did another take, and I was like, whoa, this is getting hard. Like, I don't know how much more of this I can do. And then we did another take, and I was starting to feel like right there. And then we did another take, and the director said, oh, Misha, that's hilarious. What you just did with the beer, do that again. Because the camera hadn't fucking been on me. So the first 4 pints of beer that I drank were just to practice. The camera didn't see it at all. I felt really sick.
Thank you.
Thank you. No.
Oh.
Okay, thank you guys for being here.